Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We've officially made it halfway through the week, and it's not raining right now, so yay us, I guess. It is Wellness Wednesday on the show today, so that's exciting. Autumn is here to talk with us about the nutrition side of wellness and kind of talk about some meal prepping and some of that stuff that's so important when you're kind of stepping into a new you, if you will. So we're going to talk about that on the show, but I want to start by saying thank you to all of our sponsors. Of course, you'll see them scrolling in the corner throughout the show, but give them an extra shout out this morning to R7 Reclaimed. They have some great sales going on this weekend up the hill in Grandview at the barn, so go visit them. Lutheran Living, CBI, Toyota of Muscatine, of course Impact Athletic Performance, Suntan City. They also have some really good deals going on all through the month of May. Unity Point Health, Trinity Muscatine, and of course Hy-Vee Muscatine for letting us take over their Market Grill every day to do the show. So thank you guys all so much, and thank you guys for joining us. So like I said, Autumn is here with us this morning. I'm so excited to have you on again. And we're just going to continue building on kind of the nutrition side, the wellness side of Impact, and continue sharing information with people to just, I guess, continue on our wellness journeys together. Yes. And Scott joined us earlier this month, and we did some working out on the show.
Yes,
that was fun. That was fun. I was sore the next day. I worked out after that too, but it was fun. So hopefully you guys got something out of that. And then today we're going to be talking about meal prepping. That's always something that seems like, oh my gosh, there's no way I have enough time for that. When you're, talking to someone who's never done it before, it's like, I don't have time to meal prep. But that's actually the idea, is it should help save you time.
Yes,
if you meal
essentially it will help you save, if you're willing to at least put a couple hours into one day, that's going to help you for the rest of the week. Right. When I talk about meal prepping, it's not eating the same food every single day. I think that's a little boring, a little repetitive. I love to have flavor. I love to mix things up. So what I do is, for my personal self, I use a cookbook called Cook Once, Eat All Week. The beautiful thing about it, it's 26 chapters. It gives you the protein, the starch, and the non-starchy item to choose from. And then it actually provides a grocery list, how to prep it, and then 3 different recipes that you can choose from. Now with it being Scott and I, we have plenty of leftovers for the week. So I just take a couple hours out of my Sunday to write out my list, go grocery shopping, and prep for the week, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
Then cooking for the rest of the week will maybe be about 20-30 minutes max, just because maybe putting something in a crock pot or skillet, just to take that little bit of time.
Yep.
So what we have provided for you is a PDF. It's from HSN, which is Healthy Steps Nutrition, Beginner's Guide to Meal Prepping.
Yep, and that's going to be in, Jess is going to stick that in the comments section, a little link to that, so you guys can grab that as you're watching the show if you'd like. We'll pull some of those assets up as we talk about them, but for the most part, we'll ask you to kind of follow along if you want. Just pull those up on your computers or whatever.
Print it. It is yours to take. It's a beautiful guide that, especially if you don't know anything about meal prepping, this is 5 easy ways to help with that.
Yep.
So I always like to talk about when it comes to planning, a goal is a plan. It's, a goal without a plan is just a wish.
Yep.
So if you don't have a plan for the week, You're just wishing and hoping that maybe I'm just going to throw something together, and there you go. So we have beautiful news about that. You don't have to be an expert chef. You don't have to spend hours within the kitchen. Prepping meals for the week is setting yourself up for success.
Yeah.
So that's where this guide is going to come really in handy for just about anyone. Let's get started.
Okay.
So step one is
Yep.
picking 3 staple recipes that are going to look good for you. What I provide for my athletes, and especially I know you've tried a few of them,
Yep.
through Healthy Steps Nutrition, they actually have hundreds of recipes to choose from.
Yep.
So it's very easy to go through those, pick and choose items that you would like. You can use websites such as Yumly. I love using Yumly because also
never
there
tried that
is a pantry option that you can put in, hey, I have these items, make some recipes for me, and there's hundreds to choose from there.
Wow.
But I love using the HSN recipe site to pick and choose from there. So some items to choose from. You want to have 2 proteins, whether that is chicken, pork, a beef, maybe some salmon. Tofu is a really good one too, because I have some plant-based lifestyles as well.
Yep.
Another one is having a breakfast option, because mornings can be crazy.
Yes.
For being a first-time mother myself and being a business owner, my mornings can get a little jam-packed. I know a lot, especially being a mother who takes her kids to school and then comes to work.
Yep.
You are on the go, go, go.
Yep.
So prepping some breakfast items, whether they're egg muffins, overnight oats, Amish oatmeal, protein pancakes,
Yep.
and then also one of my favorites, smoothies.
Yep.
Easy grab-to-go items that are prepped and done ready for you.
Yep.
Another one to choose from is picking your starch for the week. I love using spaghetti squash. That is my replacement for pasta. So I will always prep some of that. Quinoa, brown rice, butternut squash. Having a starch option cut ready so it's done for the week. What are some of your favorites?
For starchy or for all of the above?
All of the above.
Okay.
So protein.
Yep. Protein, my go-to is definitely chicken. I love grilled chicken. So a lot of times we'll, when we have it on like the weekend, we grill out a lot. We've talked about that. And so we'll just grill up extra. And then that way I have it throughout the week to stick in whatever recipes I have. I also like steak. If we have like a lean meat like that, I like to throw that in like little breakfast burritos with like a I don't know what they're called even. I should have looked at that, but like a low carb tortilla shell that I use for those wraps that I'll use for my breakfast burritos. That's kind of how I get through breakfast a lot of times. If I'm not eating I eat a lot of omelets. With my veggie omelets are probably my favorite breakfast, but those burritos are really good because on the go, and I use those proteins that we cook on the weekend, whether it's chicken or those steak, options.
Oh yeah,
throw
it's
them
grilling
in with.
season.
Yep.
Perfect
so
opportunity.
That really helps. I like squashes too, so we use those a lot.
Perfect. So let's go to step 2. Okay. So now that you've got your staple recipes and your ideas, now it's getting the veggies, your snacks, and your fruits prepared for the week.
Yep.
Because those are going to be everyday go-tos that we absolutely need to have. So what I like to do is I love peppers. I am addicted to peppers.
Yep.
So I will cut up a bunch of mini peppers so they are done for the week. So then if I need that little extra veg, I can throw that in. Whether it's my salads, my pastas, maybe even my lasagnas, anything in that sort, I can actually add that to it. So then when we look at veggies, we want to stick to like broccolis, peppers. I love cucumbers. Those are some of my favorites. Carrots, cauliflower. Cauliflower and broccoli is amazing because not only can you just do that as a floret, but you can make that your rice. You don't need to have a boatload of brown rice. Blend it. Put some of your veggie in as your rice. Add some flavor to it. We are a sriracha and hot sauce family, so we like to add a little extra to our spiciness. So then having starchies available, so sweet potatoes, butternut squash, beans, brown rice is always a nice staple to have within your pantry and your fridges. Fruits, berries, orange, kiwis, apples, bananas, because those are amazing for your smoothies. Freeze some of those, because then that can also be your ice too. You can also do cauliflower rice as part of your smoothies. And then you want to look at the healthy fats. Now we always have to be careful because it's like olive oil and almonds, avocados, cashews, and then nut and seed butter. So stock up on your peanut butter. If no one knows, I have a jar of peanut butter hidden in Impact as my go-to.
I've actually seen her just like scoop and eat before. I caught her once.
Yeah, it's hiding in my little office. So snacks is really an important thing too, because it's not just 3 meals. It's not just breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We need to have snacks within our day. So I loved going for like the low sugar Greek yogurt. I think it's called Okios. Okios?
Yeah.
I think I'm pronouncing that right. I never pronounce it right, guys.
We know what you're talking about.
It's fine. RX oatmeal in bars, those are really nice to go to. Hard-boiled eggs, I know that here at Hy-Vee you can actually purchase them already done.
Yep.
It comes in a bag of 6. I do that especially if I forget to do my own hard-boiled eggs.
Yep.
So I will grab those. Also jerky, and then adding some fruit. So having those staples ready to go throughout the week. I know that you can't do the energy balls, but a lot of my athletes, I tell them, those are perfect packs of protein. Pop those in. You can do about 2 a day, and you're still going throughout the entire day until you go to lunch or dinner.
Yep.
All right, so are some of your favorite veggies?
I do a lot of, for veggies, I do a lot of, like you said, peppers. I love peppers. I love the carrots, specifically the crinkle cut carrots that they have here at Hy-Vee. I like to scoop, but also, I don't know, there's just something about them. They're like, seem super fancy. So I like those ones.
Easier to grip.
Maybe, I don't know what it is, but I like those. So I eat a lot of carrots and stuff. But I love green peppers. Cut them up and just munch on those. I am a fan of broccoli and cauliflower, but only if it's cooked.
Okay. Yep.
So lots of times I'll like cook that up and just have it so that I can.
You saute or like air fryer?
Saute.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Sometimes steam even. So those are probably my go-to veggies. I eat, for my protein snacks, I eat a lot of jerky. A lot
of jerky?
Yep, a lot of jerky. I really like to do the eggs too. Like just, it's easy, whether I've made those or my husband's made those at a time, and I grab them out of the fridge, or like you said, they're here too. So sometimes after the show, I can go out and grab them if I forgot to bring my snack for the day or something like that. So it's kind of convenient being here every day, I must say.
I love that Hy-Vee has options that are, one, you can prep yourself, or they have prepped for you.
Yes,
now,
the little station up front in the veggies and stuff in the produce section that are already cut up and stuff, those have saved me a lot of times. So if you've ever gotten to a situation where like, oh my gosh, I didn't, you had something on Sunday and you didn't prep, and it's saved me coming in, grabbing a couple of those, and it helps get you through the week.
So I'll even purchase some of their pre-cut fruit, and I'll freeze it for my smoothies.
Yep.
So then that's just saving me just a little bit of time that I can just grab and go and use that when I need to.
Yep.
So step 3, it's actually doing an inventory of your pantry and your fridge. Especially during quarantine and being pregnant, I had a lot of free time on my hand, and I became one of those container store addicts. So I completely took everything out. Scott loved it so much.
I feel like you're being
a little sarcastic.
Okay.
He didn't know where anything went after that. But you got to ask yourself, what is stuff that you have and what are things that you need? So there can be definitely a difference within that. And then making a list. In this PDF, there is a grocery list option in here that kind of sets you into 4 different categories between proteins, veggies, starches, and miscellaneous items. I always love to have a little notebook with me when I'm making my grocery list, because sometimes it's not always me going, it's Scott. So I've learned the routine that we do within Hy-Vee, and so I put them in order for him. Just
what a lucky guy.
I know, I don't know if it's a lucky thing or just a scariness of my memory. We're trying to determine that someday.
Hopefully they never switch Hy-Vee up, right?
Yeah, please don't. Just keep
it the way it is.
Keep it the way it is. So here's some examples to have in your shopping cart. So proteins. I love to stock up on chicken, and then I will either do a beef lean or ground. I also like to do ground turkey. We do a lot of stuffed peppers in our household, so having ground turkey is definitely an essential within our household. Veggies, again, broccoli, cauliflower, peppers. Spinach is definitely a nice one to have because you can use that within your smoothies. You can do that with salads. Fruits, apples and berries and bananas. Those are definitely ones that you want to have within your household. Others would be brown rice and then a nut or seed butter. So almond butter or peanut butter is always a nice go-to to have. So who does the shopping within your household?
I do the shopping.
Okay. And then what are some essentials that you like to have within your house?
Essentials are definitely some of the things that you mentioned, but chicken is like an essential. Like I said, we eat like an obnoxious amount of chicken, actually. Grilled chicken.
It is a perfect lean protein source, so it's great.
I mean, whether we grill it or, sometimes, like you said, air fryer. I mean, we do all sorts of things with it. Sometimes we'll, shred it and use it for like tacos or something like that.
Yep.
We do a lot of different things with that, but that is like pretty much on every single list every week. Lots of fruits and veggies. Not only do I like those, but Hanley loves fruits and veggies, and we like to prepare those so that it's easy for both of us to grab those. Specifically pineapple at our house. I can't have nuts or seeds because of my diverticulitis, so I have to be very picky with my fruits and veggies, which kind of stinks. But so like lots of bananas, lots of pineapple, things like that. So, but also I get some of those other things for Hanley that she loves, like strawberries and all of those berries. But we eat a lot. I eat a lot of smoothies with bananas and pineapples and stuff like that. Brown rice, we eat a lot of rice like that. I tried the cauliflower rice thing, and mine was super dry. I know there's a secret that I must not have cooked it quite right or something.
You did it or grabbed like the cauliflower rice here at Hy-Vee?
I grabbed the rice, but it was like it was like really I don't know. I must not have. Maybe I cooked it too long, like steamed it too long or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, I need to try again. And then what else is on our list? Obviously jerky. A lot of jerky.
Yep. I know that for us that we go, especially when we're through here, we'll start bananas, we get our fruit. Avocados are a definite must in our household. Then,
apples.
there are a lot of apples in our house.
Lots of apples.
Then, we have spinach. I'm literally mapping through the grocery store right now. But yeah, there's just so many essentials. What I like to provide for my athletes through the nutrition handbook is the food options guide. So that I always say, have that handy into your fridge or on your fridge, and then you can always look at that as saying, hey, these are the items I need for protein, I need my carbs, I need my starchy and my non-starchy, and then also my fats. Where are my go-tos and where do I need to lean away from?
Yeah.
So then the next step is going grocery shopping.
Yay!
So bringing your list will help you keep on track. You stick with it. You're not accidentally grabbing something out of a different aisle, or maybe you see some cookies that catch your eye and you're like, no, I don't need that. It's not on my list. Especially a fun tip, don't go shopping when you're hungry.
Yes, this is a good tip.
That makes it definitely a lot harder to stay on track, because then maybe you're going to want to grab something that you can actually open up while you're shopping.
Yep.
Now, I did that while I was pregnant, but what I grabbed was...
That doesn't count.
It doesn't count. But it was also, I grabbed almonds.
Okay.
So it worked. So when you're shopping, especially I love Hy-Vee, how it's set up, you want to shop the perimeter of the store.
Yep.
So that is where you're going to find a bunch of your whole foods. You're going to find your veggies, your fruits, seeds, nuts, your meats, and your dairy.
Yep.
That is all the perimeter area. Now, obviously, you still have to go in and grab like your bread and maybe like cereal for the kiddos. I love Kashi cereal, so I still have to go grab a couple things. But I'm steering away a lot from the high sugar areas.
Yep.
Then another area to think about is loading up on the veggies and your sources of fat. Before putting an item into the cart though, take a look at the nutrition facts.
Yeah.
So that's the next part we're going to be starting here. Even if it says whole grain or loaded in a good source of vitamin C, it can actually still be loaded with sugar. So don't always look at the cover. Make sure that you're always taking a look at the nutrition facts.
Yep.
So when you go grocery shopping, what is your favorite area within Hy-Vee?
My favorite area, well, obviously the produce probably is my favorite, but I also always like to go check out the health market because I like to see what new items are over there.
Yep.
There's always like new things over there. It like blows my mind. And another cool thing about here at Hy-Vee too, I'll do like a little promo for Hy-Vee here for a second, but it's true. There's always dietitians over there too in that area, and if you have questions about stuff, you can grab one of them, and they'll come over and answer some of those questions. Or if you're looking for something specific, like I didn't know, like I love my breakfast burritos, and at first I was like, I don't know really what to use, in place of that. I love my shells, like I love, I had these specific shells that I would use, but they really probably weren't the best choice.
Yep.
And so they took me over and showed me some of the options over in the health market that might be, still give me that shell that I loved, so much, but would be a lot healthier for me. So I like the health market too. I think it's interesting what options they come up with to kind of like, I guess, fill that need that we have as far as like whether it be crunchy or like the pastas or whatever, because I'm a huge pasta lover too, and there's a ton of different like substitute sort of pasta options over there,
hundreds to choose from
that you can use. So I like kind of perusing over there and finding something to try. So
I would say we have a dietitian for ourselves, but I love having one local here because especially if I need to go grocery shopping, I want to make sure that I have what I exactly need.
Right.
And it's someone on site ready to go. So I absolutely love that Hy-Vee has that.
Yep.
So let's dive into nutrition fact labels.
Okay.
So first off is looking at the serving information, and that's going to contain the number of servings within the package and the serving size.
Yep.
So at the top, for example, this one, it's saying...
Yep, she pulled it up. She's good.
Beautiful.
Look at Jess. She's so good.
For this one, it's saying it is 8 servings per container, and a serving size is 8 fluid ounces. Now, looking at this, we are looking at, 8 fluid ounces, but it might be a bottle that has 16. So we always take that into consideration, that then we have to, if we're having an entire bottle of a drink, that's going to be double the amount. So that's always one way to look at it. You're not just looking at this and saying, oh, this whole bottle is, only 110. It is 8 ounces of that, so half of it is 110. So that's always a nice thing to look at. So I love the quick guide when it comes to the daily percentage. 5% or less is low, 20% is high. So we want to stay within the 5 to 20 range when we're looking at percentages. Just because something says, it's 40% of your protein, that's maybe a little too much of your protein within that one serving.
Right.
So maybe breaking that into 2 different parts throughout your day.
Yeah.
Then we're looking at the calories. So when we see calories, sometimes you look at it and you're like, oh, that's 180, that's too many. No, that's perfect because that's actually your energy source for the day. We want to have those calories. We need those calories. One of my mentors had made a video about a joke saying, if you are only doing 1,200 calories, that's a 3-year-old. That's how much a 3-year-old needs to be having in their life. Yeah. You need to be boosting up to the 1,400 to 1,600 minimum for your calorie intake. You need those calories to keep your energy going throughout the day. If you don't, you're going to start feeling fatigued, you're going to start feeling tired, we need to boost up that energy source. So these calories is going to be what you need and looking for.
And it's so funny because like for years and years and years, that was always the thing. It was like people were calorie counting and like trying to get those calories down for so long. And I know that's not really a thing anymore. I mean, I think some people probably still do it that don't know some of the newer facts about it. But yeah, it was like always this huge thing is like calorie counting, and now they're like, don't do that. Like, stop doing that.
I know my mom and I are guilty, especially when I was a kid. We would look at calories and we're like, oh, that's way too many.
That's the biggest number on there. We should definitely be paying attention to that.
Yeah, so you look at that and they don't actually take the time then to read the rest because, like you just said, the font size gets smaller.
Yep.
So then the next part is looking at the nutrients portion of it. So we want to be looking at like the saturated fat, the sodium, the added sugars, especially that added sugar portion. So when we see the sugars, it is the natural sugars that are in there. It's the added sugar that we want to be focusing on because it's like, okay, for example, this one says 23 grams of added sugar. That's about my sugar intake, my added sugar intake for the rest of the day. We don't want to be doing that. We want to look at the natural sugars. You want the sugars, not the added portion that they put in there. So that is definitely something to always take a look at. I always say look at total fat, total carbs, and your protein. So this fact has 0 protein, 0 fat, but it has your carbs and 10% of it. So then the next part is to look at that daily value percentage for each of the nutrients and the serving sizes for the food. When we're looking at a nutrients in the serving size, this is a food contributes to the total daily diet that helps you determine whether it's high or low in nutrients. So that's always something that you want to look at, be like, okay, am I getting enough in this one little thing? Do I need to add more? Do I need to take away less? Maybe I don't need the whole thing. So these are definitely areas that we want to look at. And I love this little pro tip at the bottom that when you're looking at the ingredients, they're listed in order by how much it actually is in that first item. So if you can't read maybe those first 3 and you don't understand what those ingredients are, maybe that's not the best source to go to. I'm going to find something else. So the first ingredient is always the most abundant version of it. So that's just some fun nutrition fact labels. Taking a look at the serving size, what the calorie intake is, how much of that energy source are you going to have throughout that, what's the nutrients, maybe take a look at that added sugar because that added sugar can hide in plain sight and we just don't even look at it. They just see total sugars and like, no, that's too many. There's going to be natural sugars that we need to have. It's that added part that we want to avoid.
Right.
So that is our lovely nutrition facts labels. So then when we get home, we've done our shopping list, we've done grocery shopping. It's now the meal prepping part. This is seriously my favorite part because I love coming home, having my groceries, and then starting to wash them and cut them and get them ready for the week. I spend Sundays about a couple hours in the kitchen total. So I follow my book, but sometimes I like to use the recipes. So, you know, I don't want you to ever feel guilty about, you know, how many times have you bought something healthy in your fridge and you let it go bad?
A lot.
Yes, I am just as guilty as it. We all are.
Yeah.
I mean, I've accidentally bought cauliflower one too many times and I forgot about it.
Yep.
So it happens, but it's life. We're all guilty for it. We have to move on.
Yep.
So instead, after shopping, just plan it out, cut it, wash it, prep it. Just get it done.
It does help a lot. Like when I come home and I actually like clean the fruit, cut it up, whatever, put it in containers and have it like ready, we eat it way faster and it goes bad way less than if I leave it in the bags and throw it like in the drawers or whatever because I'm in a hurry.
You get that intention of like, oh, I'll just do it later.
Yep.
It's like, no, I'm going to do it now. It's done. It's ready for the week, especially, you know, once Monday hits, we are working and go, go, go. So when we want to talk about our prepping portion, we want to think about what's going to take the longest. Maybe it is a crock pot meal. Maybe it is a oven item. We want to start that first. So then it's done, it's out of the way. Then we want to go into prepping anything that maybe is going to take a little bit shorter time, maybe that 20-30 minute range. The air fryer is definitely one that will be the next part to portion out. Then we're going to think about getting our fruits and veggies that we need every single day, cut and washed and cut, and then ready for the week. So going down for what's going to take the longest to what's going to take the shortest time. Now let's talk about some kitchen tools that we need. Some ones that I always like to use is my baking sheets, my muffin tins, and a crock pot. My air fryer is very abused lately, but it's okay. It's for a good cause. And then I always like to make sure that I have a large skillet and also mixing tools.
Yep.
So those are everyday essentials that I need to have within my kitchen to help me set up for success. I know that you talked about you guys grill a lot.
Yes.
So especially, we have a smoker, so we love to just do an entire thing of chicken, whether it's like 5 or 6 pounds.
Right.
We like to smoke that, whether it's beef or pork, just to have that done for the week. It's great because then it is just less time that I have to spend in the kitchen for the rest of the week.
Right, yep.
So you said chicken. What else do you do?
Chicken, we do a lot of like, I don't know, pork. We do, generally like once a week or so, we'll have like steak or something like that. And then, but yeah, we do a lot of pork. We do, I don't know, we do a lot of chicken, like grilled chicken. We do like chicken on, you know, like on the bone. We do like chicken wings, you know, all
You
that
are a
stuff.
chicken family.
We are a chicken family. We really are. That's what we really are. It's crazy. We do other things like sometimes when we're not eating and we'll do like brats or you know stuff like that too throughout the week. But we do eat a lot of chicken.
I would say salmon's always a nice one, whether it's oven or skillet or even on our smoker. Tuna, we'll do some. I haven't done a lot of catfish lately, but that's a really good one to go to.
We do fish sometimes.
Here and there.
Here and there.
So then let's talk about what I provide with my athletes now. So when I do the initial consultation, there is a handbook that I hand out for them. And it goes into macronutrients. We talk about the proteins, we talk about our starchies and our non-starchies and our healthy fats. And there's a bunch of important tips for them because we need to make sure that we're having all 4 of those areas focused on.
Yep.
So then I provide the food options guide, which we talked about earlier. So especially when you're doing grocery shopping or maybe there's a recipe that you're like, hey, I'm not a huge fan of this item. I'm going to look at my food options guide. I'm going to look at that category and replace that item with something else. Because you never have to follow a recipe to a T, customize it to your own ability.
Right.
The next part is understanding plate method. So where to start on your plate too. So we want to make sure that we're doing our veggies first and our carbs last. And then also just tips about sleep, hydration, and a lot more. There's supplements on there, talks about omegas. I provide all of that for my athletes, just so then they understand that it's not just about the food, it's about the 6 different areas that we all talked about. And we did this the last time that I was on here. So to kind of sum up today, in 3 easy ways. Picking your staples, having 2 proteins, a breakfast item, and a starch. Pairing with veggies, snacks, and fruits that we want to have. And then organizing your shopping list for meal prepping and preparing for the week ahead. So that is a beautiful guide. I recommend everyone to please print this, have this in your home, take a look at it, and just help prepare yourself for the weeks remaining. So the next step, honestly, is if this is something you're really interested in, you're saying, hey, I need help, because the accountability is definitely the most important part of this. Book a free intro with me. You can head over to our website, you can head over to our Facebook page, send me a message, or email me. It's media@impactathleticperformance.fit, and I will also put in the comments our website and then my email address too.
Yeah, that's been huge. Not only, sometimes we know the information, you know, but we just need that extra like person to say, okay, like I haven't seen, you know, your entries for the week. What have you been eating? Where have you been? What's happening? Like just that accountability can really help, especially in the beginning when you're starting some of these new habits that you really want to incorporate in your life. And it's beneficial for sure to be a part of a group that can kind of hold you accountable throughout, and you know that you have that check-in, and that somebody's going to be kind of looking out for you and checking up on you. And so, and also I think maybe even the biggest part is just like celebrating, you know, having that group of people who do celebrate when you have a win. That's awesome.
I love seeing the bright spots.
Yep.
But also at the same time, I want to know your challenges.
Yeah.
So I check in every week virtually, and then we meet up once a month. I have a couple that are actually meeting up twice a month, just so they need that extra accountability.
Yeah.
I just met with someone yesterday. She did my nutrition challenge. She did great during those 4 weeks. She absolutely loved it. And then she said, I'm going to try this on my own. Like, okay, we're going to reevaluate within 60 days.
Yeah.
She messaged me and she said, I need help.
Yeah.
So we are back on it, and she's back in saying, okay, you know, I did really great here. I want that again. I need the accountability and the guide. I need the push.
Right.
Now, sometimes it might feel like I am poking you with a stick sometimes, like, hey, where are you? What happened? You know, haven't seen you in a while, haven't heard from you. But it's me saying, hey, I'm here. We're going to push you. Let's keep going.
Right.
How can I help? Because sometimes even the one habit, because I never allow more than one habit focus at a time. But sometimes that one habit might all of a sudden feel really overwhelming.
Yeah.
Okay, how can we push it back? Where can I be, and how can I help you?
Yep.
I mean, I have sources for just about anything when it comes to just about anything. So whether it's like hydration, exercise, nutrition, sleep, even self-care. It's crazy to think how self-care can be ignored so quickly.
Yeah.
Because yes, exercise does count as self-care, but we have more areas that we have to focus on.
Yeah, of course. So I don't know. I encourage you all to at least give it a try. I mean, both the nutrition and the physical side has been super beneficial for me, and I'll have my check-in, my monthly check-in later this week, and we'll share some of my results with you, and both successes and you know, some of the things that have been hard for me this week. I'll share those later when I have my check-in and have some of those results for you. But it's beneficial. It helps to have that group and that support system, and even if you might have that with friends and family, it helps to have people who are really like working towards the same goals as you. And so I encourage you all to at least try it, you know, at least come and
even
have that
free intro.
Free intro, and see if it's something that interests you. But I love the Wellness Wednesdays and the interest. I mean, at least a little bit of an intro and getting some of that information out to people, I think is awesome. So it's Wellness Wednesday at Hy-Vee too, and you get 10% off over in the health market. So
well, there we go.
You could start today.
Yeah.
Go grab some health food over there and
get your snacks.
Yeah, get some snacks over there.
I love my RX bars. We do have our nutrition challenge. It will be a 6-week challenge, and that will be July 19th. Patrick's birthday. I had to think about that. I was like, wait, what's that day? Oh, that's Patrick's birthday.
That sounds familiar. Yeah. Yes. So that's a great time too to really get kick-started. But whatever your goals are, they can help out. So I encourage you to reach out and at least give it a try.
Yep.
So thank you for coming on and for being a part of Wellness Wednesdays and for sponsoring. I've wanted to do it for so long, so it's awesome that it's real life. It's happening.
It is. It is happening.
Thank you guys for joining. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll finish up with some other things on the show for you all. But we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back.
We just don't work out in a single plane of motion.
All right, so I just wanted to come back really quick and remind you all that it is National EMS Week. So if you know an emergency service provider, I really hope that you guys will say hello, tell them thank you if you see them out and about, maybe send a thank you card to the station, any of those things to give them a shout out. They have a Facebook page you could even shout out on. I know they're doing a lot of things on that this week too, so they definitely deserve some kudos, not only this week but every week, for being out and serving our community. And our national days and this day in history is sponsored by Lutheran Living on the show, and EMS Week, it's a pretty important one. So other reminders for you, if you're looking for things to do this weekend, one of our sponsors, R7, is having a big sale on all of their plants. They make just the cutest little potted plants and all of these unique items, and I encourage you guys all to go up and check that out because they're having a huge sale on those this weekend. It's just right up the hill in Grandview for all of you. Tomorrow we'll have another great guest on for you again at 9 a.m. I look forward to seeing you guys all then. But until then, remember that kindness is free, so spread that stuff wherever you go.
Hello, I'm Tennille with R7 Reclaimed, located in Grandview, Iowa. We mix old and new goods together so that you can find the story of your home. When you get here, you will find a mix of old and new goods that are put together so seamlessly you won't even be able to tell which is which. And not only that, it's going to speak to you and your home. We are worth the road trip. We call it the R7 road trip. So punch in 337 Cemetery Lane, Grandview, Iowa into that GPS and make the road trip.
TJ Deere here at Toyota Muscatine, and this is what it feels like to have a brand new Toyota.
It's the new car smell.
It's the new stories.
It's the new adventure.
It's the memories.
Come and see us for your 2020 Toyota.